ride this ride, you might get wet. Warning, you might laugh so hard your cheeks will sweat. With Ben and Skin, homegrown homeboys from Richardson, they're gonna soak ya. Woo! Rubber dub dub, it's the Super Soaker.
Here are your hosts for the Super Soaker, Ben and Skin. Ooh, soaked.
Oh, hell yes. Let's go. Let's do this.
Oh!
Skin, I saw that your Twitter account is officially locked in. You said tune in now. We may have a Dingu update. Hashtag world unknown.
Man, all I ever think about is we're counting down to a world unknown.
I know,
and
dude.
just it's all I think about. It's the only thing left in this Elon life that has any meaning for me.
I know. And you had to start off your day today giving Elon money.
Man.
Dude, I got bad news for you.
That's okay. I'm going to die here in 5 minutes.
I rode in a Cybertruck and it was awesome.
Was it?
Sorry, man. It was.
Nah, it's fine. Dude,
Maybe-
I like him when he's being a tech guy that wants to help the universe.
Yeah.
I don't
dude.
like him when he's propaganda Russian machine, but I like him when he's like changing the world with technology.
I cannot believe it. I got in it. It was like being in a swank, disco club or something. And
Cool.
And then there's a huge computer and nothing else. Like there's nothing else but a giant computer screen. And then we got up to 95 miles an hour in like 3 seconds. It was, I've never,
Wait. So hold on, a couple things. My mind is flooded. Number one, the way you described it, remember Virgin Airlines failed, so be careful there.
yeah, it was Virgin Airlines.
Now, number two, when and where did this happen? This was robot car and you jumped in it?
So we're going to talk about my friend, Tyler Norman. He works with Happy Dad or for Happy Dad, or he's a part of Happy Dad, those seltzers. And he's one of my best friends. I'm going to Cosm tonight with him to watch the Mavs, by the way.
Oh, wow. That's great, dude.
And so they had got they have these for Happy Dad. They have these Cybertrucks. They got like 4 or 5 of them, and they're just wrapped in their logos and stuff. And so he's in charge of all Happy Dad for like Texas.
Okay.
And so he's got a Happy Dad Cybertruck, and he was telling me about it, and he was like, dude, this thing is amazing. He goes, I can't even believe it. And every once in a while, you'll see something on social media of somebody beating up one of those Cybertrucks and making it look like it's made of balsa wood.
Uh-huh.
And so I didn't know really what to expect. But I did get into a Tesla one time, and it was so fast I couldn't believe it. I just didn't know what to expect from this truck. But
I like Teslas. I've been in a couple. I think they're great.
man, it was so fast. I couldn't believe. I've got more. And this was. He just stopped by the other night. I think he stopped by on Thursday night. So I think it was Thursday night that I did this. But, man, so much to get into in this presentation. We got a weekend recap. We got to talk about the Lucha Libre event at Rollertown. We'll get into my buddy Tyler if he won Halloween. We got a news bender with Strip Mall Steve, who made that incredible song you just heard. And to your point, there's a lot of times during the day that I'll just have the lyrics to Strip Mall Steve's songs in my head. They'll just pop into my head.
Yeah, they're great. I also like the narrator because It's like, some people like vanilla. I don't know who he's talking to. He's kind of talking to himself, and he's real casual. And then he's kind of giving some time updates, which I don't know that they're very valuable. And then with about, I don't know, a minute to go, he kind of starts panicking, and the pitch of his voice goes way up. And he's no longer just calmly making suggestions. Then he kind of starts panicking a little bit. It's a masterpiece. I love that song.
We are going to talk about Michael Lee. We've got some updates on your music business life that we'll share with anybody. You got a teaser for that?
Yeah, I want to try to get everybody to join us in Fort Worth on November the 7th at Tulips for a relaunching concert of a really good artist and a record release. And it's a record that me and Dingu, Danny Bayless, have been working on with this artist. So we'll get into all that and give you those details.
We got a scroll patrol, and we're going to try to squeeze it all in, and maybe even a little Mavs. We're going to try to squeeze it all in just over 1 hour. So thank you for making the Super Soaker a part of your routine. Do us a favor and comment on this right now. It fluffs the algorithm. And if you can share it on social media, just reshare the link and say, hey, Ben and Skin are streaming live right now. Tune in, get in here. All of that helps us, you guys. So thank you very much. And I hope y'all have signed up for the complete fun package. Our buddy Paul can put the link in the comments here. Basically, you'll be entered to win prizes. We did a meet and greet with Luca, for instance. If you'd like something like that, all you got to do is sign up for the complete fun package. That way we can email you, stay in touch with you. People that are signed up will tell you we don't spam you or anything, but you'll be entered to win prizes.
And also, Ben, we kind of have it set up now where if you just go to benandskin.com, it's all there. You can sign up for the complete fun package. You can find YouTube, all that stuff. So Jason has been working hard behind the scenes to make everything easy for everybody.
Okay, very nice. But Jason, can you show us what benandskin.com looks like right now? Can you pull that up on your computer? I'm super curious.
Let's not do that right now.
Okay, we won't do it right now. We're like the Cowboys, and that's a good. That's like a good segue into the Cowboys. This is absolutely the end of days, and I feel with the Cowboys' loss to the Niners and just the way things are going, there's certain things that have happened that let you know this is more than just a normal. Hey, the Cowboys aren't doing very well right now. I think it is a complete shit show. Like, they are entirely fucked, and there's lots of, it's a lot of the ways that I feel about this are the ways that I felt like in 2000. So like 24, 25 years ago. Jerry the owner needs to fire Jerry the GM. So many of the stupid cliche things, I feel like they're all regurgitating up to the top now because it's just been too long, and it's clear that there is absolute dysfunction, and it rains down from the top. And that there's so many things about this game this particular game that we can talk about, but there's so many big picture things. But the fact that Mozzie Smith sucks, it really crushes you. You used a first-round pick to try to solidify a position that you were dying in, and you're still dying. You're still worst in the league at that. They just don't have weapons on offense. The fact that you're trying to force the ball to an elf in Kevontae Turpin on a huge third down in this game to try to save your season. Dak hits him with a ball on his helmet. I mean, couldn't be a better thrown ball, but he's 5'2", and he has no business being like. I mean, if anything, he's a gimmick. He's your fifth receiver. He's a great returner, but you put him in every once in a while, but you don't throw the ball to him deep on third down when he's covered by a 6'8" corner. McCarthy the offense is stale. There's nowhere to run. The guys aren't getting open on offense. There's just no weapons besides CD. Dak looks like he can't run. I mean, this is a complete shit show on an epic level where you have the worst run defense in the league and the worst run offense in the league. I feel like it's the full weight of all of this 30 years of ineptitude of not getting back to the conference championship game, 29 years, whatever it is. And that's why Jerry is freaking out on Sean and RJ. That's why he's losing his shit. Because he knows they're fucked. It's time for a rebuild, and they just re-upped Dak at $60 million a year. This is the worst possible scenario you could ever imagine for this team, and he knows it.
Well, to me, it's not that unless Dak is no longer good. I mean, for the two things that I did not like, dude, we knew they had issues defensively. Well, if all your best defensive players have injuries at the same time, that's going to be a huge problem. They were never going to be a good defense, but they could have been an average defense. They were going to have to be better offensively. The things that I did not account for is just how subpar the offensive line has been. I thought it would be better than this. And maybe if Zach Martin's not at the top of the league in guards because of injuries, that starts a ripple effect, right? Because you just count on that. You count on him and okay, we're good there. They've actually gotten decent center play from a rookie. Guyton's obviously had his injuries and before that had his penalties, but rookies go up and down. Smith looks like a hit, right? I think that And also, man, the Terrence Steele thing, I don't even know what kind of player he is anymore.
Mm-mm.
I thought, they got an anchor out there, but he's really had a year and a half now that's subpar, right? So not only is that something I didn't think was going to happen, but I'm just really surprised at how poorly Dak has played, because I'm a guy that's always believed in Dak. I think if you have the right team around him, you can absolutely win with Dak. But despite some things that aren't his fault, there's a lot of things that are his fault and are inexplicable. And I don't know where he's at mentally. Maybe it's because of the dysfunction around him and he's not handling it right. Maybe it's a change in his life. I don't know. I just know that Dak was really effing good last year. He was really effing good. And I don't think that, it was because they had Tony Pollard, right? I mean, and their offensive line was better. But, like, that drop-off has been very surprising to me. And I would not be surprised at all if it went back the other way and he got it together. The problem with an NFL season is, like, there's these chunks where your schedule is favorable, and then there's these chunks where it gets harder. And the Cowboys are about to be in a chunk where it's harder, and they're 3-4. They really, to save their season, they needed to win last week, and they were in a position to do it. And that final drive was just horrible. Like, they were way better than the Niners in the first half. And then they basically got throttled in about an 8-minute stretch in the third quarter and lost the game. So it feels terrible. And we've seen some things that are really frustrating. And we know the run game's not going to get better. And we know that the defense isn't going to get better without Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence and Deron Bland out there making a difference. And now, because of all the ancillary stuff that's happening out there, it feels like the end of the world. And so all of our discussions are about players yelling at media and Jerry losing his shit. And those are usually signs that there's a much deeper problem that's certainly not going to manifest itself into being a good season.
Exactly. And look, the defense missing Micah, Tank, Nealon, Sam Williams, Deron Bland. It makes sense that the defense isn't going to be what you want it to be, but missing on Mozzie Smith is devastating. You used a first round resource and he sucks. He's flash. He's had a couple games, but they put it up there with, the scoring system for Pro Football Focus or whatever. You can take it or leave it, but that he was the worst defensive tackle based on that criteria in football. That's not good for a first round pick. So you didn't shore up that position. And so I like Dak. I'm not worried about Dak. I am worried that he can't run anymore, but he's a really good quarterback. I think he's a top 10 quarterback. At times he looks like a top 3 quarterback. He did last year.
Yeah.
And so I believe in him, but I don't know that if you have to rebuild your defensive line and your offensive line, you're talking about multiple years. And so you're talking about spending a couple of years while paying a quarterback $60 million. I think this is what Jerry was wrestling with. Do we need a tear down rebuild or are we close? And the people close to him were saying, no, we're close. Give Dak $60 million a year. We're going to contend. And I think he's got horrible regret from signing him to that deal. And it doesn't really have as much to do with Dak as it has to do with the rest of the shit show. I guess that's my point. But I look at Trayvon Diggs yelling at Mike Leslie while he's in full pads, like reading Twitter immediately after the game before he takes his pads off. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And you care to respond to a media person in the hallway? That's embarrassing. And so it is culture. And the meltdown from Jerry, it feels like the end of it all. I don't know that you can get the keys away from him. So I don't know what the out is here. But for me, the poster child moment for this, the doom certainty, like, hey, man, we are absolutely screwed here, is this story that I can't get over, that they would not let DeMarvion Overshown wear number 0, his favorite number, the number he wore at Texas. Jerry Jones personally told him, you can't wear number 0 because Rowdy wears it. And
respect, man.
I remember when KT told us this story. Now, that's your GM.
Protect the legacy of Rowdy, dude.
That's your GM who's spending time in his day to tell a star player you can't have the number you want because this fucking Muppet that dances around on the sideline wears it. And every once in a while when I'm thinking about this, because I think about it a lot, I'm like, maybe I misunderstood KT. Maybe I was looking at Ric Flair news on my phone. Maybe I was distracted. Maybe I didn't understand. Maybe he was kidding. And so I Googled it, and I went and found this Bill Jones interview. And I think KT actually played it the day he told me about this.
Yeah, we played this on the air.
So listen to this. I couldn't remember if you were there that day or not.
Yeah.
Listen to this, because every time I repost this, I have people going, wait, I thought you were joking. This is real. This is the great Bill Jones, courtesy of CBS 11, interviewing DeMarvion Overshone about his number.
All right, you were Agent Zero at Texas. Okay, last year you wore number 35 in camp here before you got hurt. Now you're wearing number 13. How did you settle on 13?
Well, Zero was definitely panning out. Like, that's what I thought. That's what I was looking forward to in the future. And I just thought it was meant to be, because at first when I was already coming to the league, I was like, well, Zero's not even an available number, so I'm gonna have to find something else anyways. And as soon as that they made the rule that NFL players can wear 0, I like the first Dallas Cowboy to wear 0. Like, it's just meant to be. Coming from Texas wearing number 0, this is just meant to be. And sadly, it didn't happen like that. That's Rowdy number, and I guess me and Rowdy gonna have to duke it out. But Rowdy my guy, and so I think Mr. Jones is gonna hold on to that number for a while. Hopefully, 13 looks so good on the field, he'd be like, you know what, you can have 0.
So your goal, though, is to be number 0 whenever Rowdy decides that you played well enough to earn number 0, right?
I'm not saying it's well, I am saying it. Rowdy, if you ever just want to sit down and we can have a conversation, I tell you how much 0 means to me. Maybe we can have a little quick jersey change just for a game, just to see how it looks on me. If it don't look good, if it look better on Rowdy, I give it back to him. But I promise you, Rowdy, like I would make that 0 shine just like you do. But I actually told people, that bought the 35 jersey last year, and I already purchasing the 13 jersey. I'm like, man, I'm sorry what I'm doing to y'all bank accounts. I know the NFL.com is not cheap with these jerseys. So I promise y'all this 13 is going to be the number that I'm riding with, unless 0 just magically pops up in my locker one day. You're going to have to buy another jersey. It's going to be number 0. But other than that, 13 it is. 13 it is.
All right. Appreciate it, Agent Zero.
All right.
We'll
Wait, hold on. That was the whole interview?
No, there was a lot more.
They just shook hands and left.
Yeah, I edited that. They talked about a lot of other stuff.
Okay. I thought they dispatched Bill Jones out to Frisco to get that 3-minute piece.
When we talked about it on the radio, it was so preposterous that I didn't fully understand it. And I think it's happening to a lot of people. They're like, wait, that's real? That's a real thing? That really happened? And I know that if Overshone had been wearing number 0, that it wouldn't change our record. The record would be the exact same record. But it's emblematic of everything that's wrong with the organization. The GM is taking time away from his day to come tell a star player, you can't have the number you want because our fucking mascot has to wear it with his giant felt Muppet head while he dances around on the sideline and is obnoxious. But it's such an important thing. We can't have a player have number 0 and Rowdy wearing 00. Come on, man. You can't have that number.
We need Sean and RJ to get to the bottom of this, because I almost think that Overshone was lied to. I mean, I really don't think they took it to Jerry and he said no. It's possible. I mean, that's what Overshone thinks happened. But again, it's not even Rowdy's number. Rowdy is 00, which I think the reason probably Rowdy was 00 is because 0 is the number. Shit, I don't know. But it is emblematic of all the stupid stuff. Now, Overshone actually had the best idea, and this is what Jerry would go for: a Rowdy Overshone jersey swap at midfield of the Thanksgiving game by the Salvation Army bell, and then Zeke pops out like an Ewok. That's something that the Cowboys can get behind. You have Overshone, he's handing the thing. It's like D Wade's retirement. He's handing the thing, and him and Rowdy swap jerseys. Yeah. And then just Zeke pops up real slow, looking like an Ewok. It'd be so badass, dude.
We need to shine a light on this. We need everyone in the world to demand answers. We got to get over show number 0. This makes no sense in the world. Anyways, Cowboys are fucked. Not surprised. It's only going to get worse. This is a terrible stretch of games. It's going to be absolutely terrible.
I've changed my prediction.
Is this on Zeke getting first down carries in the first drive?
I said that they would be. I think I said they would be 9-8. Maybe I said that. Yeah, I said 8.5, and then I took the over. I think they're going to be 8-1. I don't think they're going to be 9-8. I think they're going to be 8-1.
It's kind of like with Luca. By the way, can you imagine the Mavs telling if Mavs man wore 77 in his mini trampoline show and Luca wanted 77, like, Luca, I'm sorry. Mavs man jumps on this tiny trampoline and dunks the ball and shoots T-shirts to fans. 77 is already taken. What else do you want?
I can imagine it in 1998 when Ross Perot Jr. owned the team.
Yeah. Oh man, it's an absolute shit show. It's a full-on debacle. Hey, I want to do a quick weekend recap before we get to Steve and the Newsbender.
Okay.
So I was mentioning my buddy Tyler Norman from Happy Dad, and he's a good friend of mine. We're going to Cosm tonight. We're going to watch the Mavs at Cosm, dude.
Sweet, man. I'm excited for you. That's really badass.
Very excited about this. And so he goes all out. When I met him, it was I think it was probably 5 or 6 years ago. And I still, you know how when you meet somebody and you put them in your phone and then years later you don't change it and it's still in whatever it was?
Yeah.
So I had him in my phone under the name Tyrion Lannister because he was dressed up at how I was like, holy shit. He goes all in on Halloween. And so he was dressed up as Tyrion Lannister, the little person from Game of Thrones. And he had his torso was attached to little fake legs who were on a small black table that he was carrying like a belt buckle.
Right.
And so the tablecloth covered his real legs. And so it looked like Tyrion Lannister.
I love those bits when people change the proportion of something by having these fake legs. Like, that's amazing.
And so, and he's known for like being a wizard when it comes to going all out. So here's a picture of Tyler Norman, just regular. Okay. So
who's he dressed up as there?
So he's just himself there.
I've seen him many times and he doesn't look like that.
He's he's at a country concert.
Oh, okay.
He's at Billy Bob's, and he's actually like that hand is Post Malone's hand. He's in a picture with Post Malone.
Okay. He's really admiring him.
And so he is at a country concert, and he's always knows how to hold the Happy Dad to give the label some love because he works for Happy Dad. So
that is a very 1992 shirt he's wearing.
Yes. And so he is you can tell he's not a fat guy, he's a thin guy or whatever. And this is very important in understanding the context of how he went all out for Halloween. So he decided to go as Jelly Roll, the singer, for Halloween.
That's badass. Just to agitate KT.
And he goes.
He still hasn't explained what an industry plant is. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but he claims that he's an industry plant.
I love that because a lot of people say KT is an industry plant.
He is.
Okay, so
he's
Jason,
a dead plant that needs water.
Okay, so look,
he's dating a girl that's got an arm tattoo.
So his girlfriend or wife, Jelly Roll's wife, is Smoke Show, just like Tyler's wife. That's Camden. Okay. And so they went as the couple. So he is Jelly Roll and she is Jelly Roll's wife. His son Knox did the makeup of the tattoos on his face.
Does Jelly Roll have crazy hard white teeth or something?
Yes.
Okay, I've never noticed.
He has super white teeth.
That's amazing, dude.
So what's crazy is he actually has met Jelly Roll too.
Okay.
And so now keep in mind, he's a skinny guy. He's wearing 7X sweatpants and 7X shirts. And he's got a fat suit beneath him that's got a machine in it that's constantly filling it up with air.
He's basically Colin Farrell in The Penguin.
And so he was going around the party going, God bless Jesus. and
That's even better is when someone goes in character with how they talk for Halloween.
He would walk into a room and go, don't waste your time on me. And so it's so funny. But his buddy who owns Happy Dad actually sent it to Jelly Roll.
Oh, wow.
And Jelly Roll loved it. He was like, "Oh, that's incredible!" So he absolutely loved it. So, are there other pictures here of him or the video, Jason? Okay,
Wasn't that at your party where Shippy was DJing?
yeah, okay, yeah. That's my buddy Kevin Knight. You've met Kevin, and
Yeah.
Kevin is that's in my backyard.
Who is Kevin?
Kevin, so Kevin went as a pimp, and his wife went as a virgin.
That's badass.
And so it was a pretty good juxtaposition.
So what did she just dress as KT? That was a cheap joke. It wasn't even funny. KT's married. He's totally had lots of sex.
He just had sex for the first time, he said,
Yeah,
at
man,
his honeymoon.
That was a
Anyways,
stupid joke.
I thought Tyler may have, he usually wins Halloween. He may have won. Leave us in the comments if you think that's a good costume or not.
I am jealous. I'm honestly jealous of people that have the energy and the creative drive to do something big on Halloween. Like it's to me, it speaks to a person that's at a place in life where shit is good, right? Like if you can go like, I don't even know. I'm like, oh shit, it's Halloween. Does anybody have a mask they can hand me? Like I don't have any time or creative drive to do something that's that badass. And when I see something go all out, I'm like, God, you're in an amazing place in life because this is fucking awesome. I mean, the energy you're putting out is amazing. People are happy to see you right now. I'm like, I wish I had the time and energy and creative drive to kick ass like that.
Yeah, I went with one of the punny ones this year that KT loves those punny costumes. And I thought it's clever because I suffer from big man heat, as you know, so I didn't want to walk around in a bunch of clothes and a mask and be sweating all night. So I wanted something low maintenance. Like one year, I went as beer pong or something. I dressed like I normally would, and I had red Solo cups glued to my shirt.
Okay,
and that was easy.
Yeah, that's good.
And so this year, I had some first place ribbons and gold medals around my neck. And I was carrying a loaf of bread.
What is
you know what I was?
No. Okay, you had gold medals, and you're carrying a loaf of bread. I don't know what that is. Wait. Is that a bread brand? What is that?
Breadwinner.
Ah, that's good.
And so
that's good.
I thought it was good and clever.
Yeah.
But when my friend goes to that much trouble to go of his jelly roll, he was so disappointed in me. I think he almost left my house when he saw that.
Yeah, it's a lot like when we, do a song thing and you bring in an orchestra and make a masterpiece, and I just yell Tony Romo over a green metal beat. It's like, what is this asshole doing? Put time into it.
Right. So, anyways, that was awesome. And then Saturday was, I want to talk about this briefly because it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in person. Bucket list item. I'm super proud of our little brewery, Rollertown, that you and I are invested in.
Yeah.
And we do fun things. And my brother, who's one of our co-owners and our CEO, Jonathan, he likes to do spectacle-based marketing. And so, like, when we came out with the Japanese lager, it was House of Warlords. He wanted to do something big, reached out to the Japanese consulate. They told him about this, is it Haiku drum performance line, and
Taiku.
Taiku.
Yeah.
And that's right, Taiku. And the Dallas Sumo Club. And so we had a proper sumo wrestling tournament. We've now done it, I think, 3 times, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger every time. And so for our Mexican lager, the idea was, well, what about luchadors? What about a Lucha Libre event? Mm-hmm. And I honestly didn't know that much about it. That's why I was asking Yvonne, our engineer, who's from Mexico, and who's very familiar with luchadors and Lucha Libre, was giving me the whole history of it. And the more he told me, the more excited I got about the event. And so the event was Saturday. And Jason, I don't know if you can play this video, but we don't want any sound here with this. But basically, there were stilt walkers, face painters, luchadors. It was just a lowrider club. Badass DJs. This is one of the coolest events we've ever had at Rollertown.
Yeah, we were basically celebrating Dia de los Muertos, which comes up this Saturday, but we didn't want to do it on the day of because a lot of people will be doing it on the day of. So we wanted to do something cool and get it in. So we did it the Saturday before Halloween. Makes a lot of sense. It's a week away from other people's celebrations, and we were able to do something big and grand like this. And then whenever we do this stuff, we have beer releases as well. By the way, man, shout out to Big Lou Micheladas. They're great people. They've been out to the brewery many times, and they were there as well. They also make kick-ass ceviche if you're ever out at the brewery. But you can see it was a spectacle. And Duke's Car Club coming out there. They're based in Fort Worth. And so they brought out 9 cars. Maybe it was 8, but loaded them up. There's the Oak Cliff Soul Collective. If you don't know, lowrider culture and vintage old soul music go hand in hand. It kind of started out in LA and happens here in Texas as well. And then look at that, man. The Luchadors putting on a show. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, I'd never seen that. And so I really wasn't sure what it was going to be like. But
look at that kid.
I think next year's will be even bigger. And it was packed. Like, it was one of the most crowded days I've ever seen at Rollertown. And it was
cool.
And the kids were just having so much freaking fun. And the luchadors all go into the crowd and give high fives and take pictures with people. But, man, it was a really, really special event, man. I was
that beer, by the way, that's something we did with the folks at Saludos Brewing out in Laredo. They're really good people. They've been up to the brewery a few times because I think that's like a 7 or 8 hour drive from Laredo. But that Choco Libre is a new beer that we released in conjunction with them, and it's basically a Mexican hot chocolate stout. It's really, really good. Gotten great feedback on it so far from the peeps, and I know I personally love it. So yeah, that was fun, man. Awesome. I had to do Mav duty Saturday night, so I had to leave before the wrestling began, but was able to soak up a little bit of it. And really great times. Kudos to Crystal and Jonathan with Rollertown for putting all that together.
Awesome. Well, right now it's time for this.
It's weird and wild. Let's see what's coming down the wire in the News Bender with pedestrian news fella, strip mall Steve Shackelberg.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Your hair looks good, dude. You just had sex.
That's right. Every morning. That's how I get going. It's the only way I can get out of bed, honestly. I won't get out of bed unless I do.
Because the pole's in the way?
Yeah. I mean, my wife doesn't know it's happening, but, it's fine. We work different schedules.
There was a disturbance in the force.
Exactly. Not that much of a disturbance, though. I'm stealth. Okay. Let's get right into the news, guys. There's enough joking around, all right? A new lawsuit has accused Subway of grossly misleading customers by advertising sandwiches that contain at least 3 times as much meat as it delivers. Yes. The lawsuit was filed claiming that, misleading advertising. A woman paid $7.61 for a sandwich at a local Subway, not realizing that the ad she saw contained at least 200% more meat than she received. Her lawsuit seeks unspecified damages.
Man, speaking of a world unknown, your world is such a mixture of decades, and it's really amazing. Did you punch in anything about Charlie's Angels? Because that looks like some really bad undercover costumes from those smoke shows there in the middle.
Nothing about Charlie's Angels was contained in the prompt.
There are so many businessmen in the background, white businessmen.
They're swarming, Ben.
There's live turkeys. There's briefcases, as always, because we know the AI loves briefcases. And then there's a huge sandwich on a bigger suitcase. And all the women are looking straight ahead, 3 in sunglasses in the middle, 1 with huge bosoms on the left. And look at the one on the right. She's the only one who's not looking directly ahead. She's admiring that lady on the left.
She kind of looks like a really hot version of Natasha Lyonne. So she's real happy with how AI treated her.
Yeah, she's got the Glenn Close haircut, though, over there on the right.
Yeah. She's definitely going to kill a rabbit later.
Definitely.
So that one gal's got a, what is she pushing that sandwich on? I forgot what those are called.
Hand cart, dolly.
Dolly, that's the word I was looking for. So really, I wonder why AI chose to. I mean, because it's like a little Ocean's 13 or Ocean's 11 or something is happening here. Like they're up to something. They're the ones misleading everyone about the meat, I guess. I'm not sure, man.
That's what I think. I think this is an abuse of the legal system, in my opinion. I think businesses should be allowed to advertise 300% more meat, and then it's just buyer beware at that point.
Are you guys going to be traveling to Suba Leave or whatever that is?
No, I didn't catch that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy all the advertising for Sue Believe that's going on.
I thought it was a destination. I had no idea.
They run that
dude.
place.
Okay, those two guys. Okay, so bosom chick on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Those two guys, they're trying to do a covert handoff of their briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
Like something is up, and then Robert De Niro's going to go, Serrano's got the tapes. Serrano's got the tapes. Have you guys ever seen Midnight Run?
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest movies of all time that also stars Charles Grodin and Robert De Niro. Of all the movies that star Charles Grodin and Robert De Niro, Midnight Run is far and away the best.
Is that a Martin Brest film?
It might be, dude.
That's
It's one where probably 14-year-old Skin thought it was amazing. Like, I loved that movie. I was so into it.
14-year-old Ben loved Cannonball Run.
Hell yeah, dude.
Because Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds had this cool chemistry.
Yeah.
I was kind of a young fat kid, so it was like Dom DeLuise is my guy.
KB was your Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
That sandwich actually looks like a Dom DeLuise sandwich.
It does.
You know?
He would love it.
Yeah.
All right. In other news, a Texas startup named Throne is making waves in scatological circles after devising a camera that attaches to your toilet and photographs your fecal matter. Yeah, Throne uses a downward-facing camera that securely captures video during each bathroom visit. The device simply clips onto the toilet, and then afterward, doctor-trained artificial intelligence analyzes the stool and provides insight into the user's daily digestive and hydration status.
All right, this is kind of like the poor man's version of what our Japanese friends are already doing with their technology, because they have those toilets. We did that story where it actually analyzes the water sample, the poop stool sample, and all that, and it would like send you a text message like, hey, drink a cup of water, you idiot, or something like that. Like, this is just, we're going to take a picture and take a gander at it and then take a guess with our giant cowboy hat.
There is no way in our modern world that much media is going to be there for this.
And
My God, look at that team of photographers. Wow. That one guy on the far right was so excited he's changing out the lens.
They're there for the hat. It's a world record hat.
Oh, God,
badass.
you know what? That might be Rowdy
Oh,
be.
you're right.
in a suit.
Unmasked.
Well, obviously, this does raise, some privacy concerns. But like Ben said, it's all for health. They're just gonna let you know via app, let you know via text what you need to eat, drink, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
All right. In other fecal matters, a 180-foot fountain of feces erupted from a sewer in Moscow this week. The sewer blast surged for several minutes, spraying contaminated water and debris over buildings, vehicles, and public spaces. The blast reached up to the 17th story of an adjacent high-rise building.
Oh, who did Tucker Carlson blame that on? That
was
is
great.
That is disgusting. At first, I thought this was something based on Willy Wonka, but that is shocking, dude.
Yeah, I thought it was candy and chocolate, and I was immediately concerned because there was no briefcases. And so I was like, man, has AI lost its love of briefcases? The one most confusing thing is, where's this arm coming from that's just holding up a teacup?
He's falling, or that's a he. He's falling, and he's trying to balance his teacup. Don't spill this. Is that a space shuttle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You pop Russia in there, they're like, yeah, space program. Throw some space shuttles in there. Why not?
Seems like it's a little low, but I don't know. Maybe it caused the poo disruption.
Yeah.
Look at the people dancing at the fountain of poo.
They were oh so happy to be there. But yeah, tough day for Russia. There is real video of it. It's honestly more shocking than this AI photo, the real video of it.
Really?
It's a geyser of poo 18 stories high. It's incredible.
God, does it look as Dr. Zhivago as that?
No, not quite.
Okay.
But it is shocking.
All right, Steve, that's all the news that you have.
No, I don't think that's true.
That's all the news you have.
See you, Steve.
Yeah. Couple other things I want to get into before we get out of here. You have several different music projects that you are a part of. You have a record label. You got a bunch of cool stuff going on. Give everybody a heads up on what's going on with Michael Lee.
Yeah, so Jason, if you will, I sent you a flyer that I would like you to pop up as I kind of ramble about this, and then we'll watch a quick video. But a week from Thursday, November the 7th, there's a really badass venue in Fort Worth called Tulips. If you've been to Tulips before, put it over in the comment section, because I know a lot of our listeners have seen Christina play out there with oatmeal pizza. But Michael Lee is a dude that he's played out at our brewery before, and he was on The Voice. He was on Blake Shelton's team one year. He's an 817 boy, and he's a really amazing blues guitar player and singer. And right before the pandemic, he was getting ready to go tour Europe with B.B. King's band. So, he got on The Voice playing the classic B.B. King song, The Thrill Is Gone. And he did such a great version of it that B.B. King's band reached out and he did some touring with them, was getting ready to go to Europe. And then the pandemic happened and everything went to shit for everybody, right? So during that time period, he had been talking to me and Danny because he liked the way Bastards of Soul sounded and talked about, changing the direction of his sound. So me and Danny have been producing him. If you don't know Danny Bayless, of course, was on The Freak with us, was on The Ticket forever on the Hardline, and he's an amazing producer and musician, and I do some stuff with him under the moniker Silver Skylarks. If you've never heard that, go check that out. But it was time. We had a plan for Michael. What we wanted to do is we're releasing on November 7th. It's just a little 4-song EP of cover songs, and we picked 4 different cover songs. And then coming up later in 2025, we'll release an album of completely new material. We have half of that's finished. We got some more to finish, but November 7th is the date that this is being released. And we would love for people, if you're over there in the 817 side or willing to make the journey on a Thursday night, come on out and join us and hear what Michael's doing. He's relaunching his music career as Michael Lee in the Wartime Limousine. He's got an amazing voice. And to kind of put you guys in the framework to understand what we're doing, I'm going to play a quick little video here of Michael talking about one of the songs that's on the EP. Check this out.
I was not familiar with the song No 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 when the Silver Skylarks first approached me with it.
I felt like we forced him to do No No No.
You did. I never even heard that song before.
Maybe I forced you to help me force him.
Right.
To do No No No, but it's one of my, it's one of my favorite dance hall reggae songs, and in listening to it, I was like, this is a blues song. It is an absolute blues song.
It was really their baby in this whole approach, and out of all the songs, I feel like it's the one that took me the furthest out of my comfort zone, which is great.
I always think about how can we grab the ear of another audience, and so I thought it would be really cool to do a gritty blues version of this. And then I started thinking about how all the Cypress Hill shit from the early 90s, they were sampling all these gritty blues licks, and so I was like, what if we approached it like Cypress Hill producing Michael? And so we kind of came at it from that point. And I remember going, dude, you need to come up with an arrangement for this. And when you sent the arrangement, I just thought it was so fucking different and interesting. It got me really excited. And then you had the idea to make him sing in that crazy low register.
One of the things is kind of singing so low on that song is interesting because it's not something that I've really done before. And even my vocal coach, she was like, why do you sing way up high all the time? And then we pretty much reverse engineered it, figuring out that I learned how to sing on loud music stages and didn't really practice at home or anything. So if I was singing low, I couldn't hear myself. So I'd always be singing high. So I got to sing low down here. on No No No, and it turned out pretty cool. I think it's pretty interesting, something that nobody's ever heard me do before.
Okay, you can pull that down, Jason, because it goes on for another 4 minutes. But I just wanted to give people a little taste of what we're doing with him. And that studio, Nile City Sound in Fort Worth, is, you know, I like to call it the studio that Leon built, because the guys that first started working with Leon Bridges built that studio, and it's got all this vintage gear. And so would love it if you came out and join us. You know, Ben, you've seen Michael perform before, and you know he has this like beautiful falsetto, and you can just see the range. And the other thing, he's a fucking incredible guitar player, but we were trying to take him away from just being, you know, one of these guys that grew up idolizing Stevie Ray Vaughan. So there's some real soulful stuff on there. He always did the Allman Brothers song Whipping Post, but he did it real close to their original version. We turned it into this trippy fucking funk thing. You got a little bit of taste there of what we did with the reggae tune. And I'm sure you remember, you know, when you and I were going to Club Exodus as Sons of Soul in the early 90s, that club, it was in the heart of Deep Ellum on Crowdis, and it was run by Jamaican New York dudes. So they would play hip hop, and then they would play all this dancehall reggae stuff. So we would hear that song in Club Exodus, and it would be playing alongside Cypress Hill or Redman or whatever was bumping at the time. So all that shit makes sense to us, and hopefully it translates. But the show will be November 7th at Tulips in Fort Worth. You can get tickets. I've been blasting it out on social media, but would love to see you there. I think it'll be a really fun night. The Rosemont Kings are opening up. They're a soul band out of Oak Cliff. So if you love live music and want to see some stuff that me and Danny Dingu Bayless have been working on, come on out Thursday, November the 7th, Tulips in Fort Worth.
That sounds awesome. Jacob Vielmo's asking if he opened up for Bastards of Soul in 2020.
He absolutely did. And that was kind of like the impetus of us starting to work with him was, hey, let's do some stuff together. So
very nice. Looking forward to that. Thursday, November the 7th. And as always, any of the stuff we got cooking, even if you can't go, if you share it with your peoples, that helps us more than you can imagine. Thanks for all the support. But right now it's time for this.
Oh, yeah. Scroll Patrol. Yeah, Ben's on a scrolling roll. Looking at big booties. Mukbang and Liver King. There's Toots and Snake Boots. Yeah, everybody's cutting some toots. Yeah, it's Scroll Patrol. What is it? I just said it's Scroll Patrol.
Internet behavior of Ben Rogers. Just got a couple of quick things I want to bring to you. These are some things I found on the internet, and I know you're not looking at them because I can send them to you guys, and you don't want to click on what I send you because you don't want me to distort your algorithm with my lifestyle.
Right.
And so you guys are missing a lot of important things, and so I'm going to share. I think most of the stuff I have today is food, okay? And everybody likes food, so this will be a chance for some people to see some cool food. If you could zoom in here, I really like this one because this dude is just eating straight up raw fish heads. And most of the time when there's something gross somebody's eating somewhere in the world, they're happy to use a dipping sauce. And you can actually play audio on this stuff because there's no music or anything.
I use all those same hashtags.
Look at this. Oh, he's struggling with the raw fish head. That was my favorite part of this one. Look at that. Oh, there's no way that tastes good, bro. Oh, he aborts.
Oh, he does. Oh, yeah.
Spit it out.
What about that is sexual to you?
All of it.
Okay.
The sauce.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Oh, look, he's showing you the bone structure of the fish.
Yeah, dude, that one's all right. What else you got, Jason? I got some rapid fire.
What is nonstop BB? What?
Bro, get in there and enjoy you some of I can't hear this though. I don't know if the audio is actually playing, but it's fine.
What are those iguanas? Like, no, what is that?
I think she's eating frogs, dude.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And bro, she is just eating frog torsos. Oh, dude, look at that. And it even sounds grosser.
Yeah, that's not appealing.
Let me see.
That frog's got some muscular legs, though.
I think it's muted, Jason.
Why wouldn't she eat the frog leg first?
Yeah.
Is that because people like you won't watch it if she's just eating frog legs?
I guess. I would watch it if she was just eating frog legs, but all right, now this one.
What is that?
I think it's a goat. I was very concerned when I first saw it. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't a man's best friend. It's not.
That goat is still alive. It's just real tired.
It's like a goat or a lamb or something. But this one is like, man, I don't want. This is like, I don't want to know how a hot dog is made. I don't want to know really what I'm eating when I'm eating an animal. But dude, look at this guy. Into the Pico.
He's he's not using hair care product, is he?
No, look at that. He's gonna get him some face. That's
some good snout, man.
All right, here's a good one. We don't have audio for some reason, but this lady is speaking in a real unattractive Russian accent, which makes it even worse.
Well, she was a smoke show. I don't believe you.
Yeah. Go ahead, play that one. Again with the fish head. Ah!
Okay. I like that lamb wool, whatever thing she would wear.
There you go. All right. There's
that guy about to throw. What's that guy doing?
I think that guy was reacting to it. Sometimes you don't have the original whatever somebody put out. You just have reaction videos.
Oh, so is that might be that guy watching the gal with the wool jacket.
Yeah.
The wool lined coat.
There's a little scroll patrol. I know the algorithm's not serving you guys up those magical things, so I just wanted to bring it to you. Now, I want to finish here with a little Dallas Mavericks basketball. Mavs won last night. Luca at one point was like 3 of 20 or something like that.
Yeah, he had an off night shooting the ball.
So he had an off night shooting the ball, and the Mavs still win. And do you know what my favorite thing is right now about watching the Dallas Mavericks?
Is it Derek Lively II?
No, but that's a close candidate. And by the way, why isn't he starting?
I don't know. I was 99% sure he was going to start, but and I know that Kid said that could change depending on matchups and stuff, but it's so early. You know, you don't want to make any sweeping judgments of anything, but so far, you know, in the 3 games the Mavericks have played, 2 with what I would contend are far inferior opponents. Phoenix is probably, you know, a pretty damn good team. If they stay healthy this year, but it's quote unquote worked. Tonight's going to be a huge test, and you're going to be there at Cosm watching it in all its full glory. Man, dude, could you please get some Cosm videos and we can use them in poor spacing and we can use them here on Thursday?
Yes.
But no, so it's not Lively II. Is it just Clay catch and shoot?
I want to say this.
Yeah.
It's so I'm not complaining that Lively's not starting.
Yeah.
I'm just curious about the strategy because maybe it just makes that second unit that much more powerful because it's not, you know, and look, you have so many stars with the big 3 already in that starting lineup. It's, you know, Gafford does not need the ball. Neither does Lively, but I mean, I don't know. It's just maybe I think Lively has much more juice than Gafford. I think they're both great.
Yeah.
And so maybe it just makes that second unit that much more powerful.
Yeah, that could be. And then also, you know, the way they want to tweak rotations maybe to where Lively will be in at the end of the game, I think could be a part of it. And obviously that's going to change based on matchups and fouls and stuff like that. But no, I understand what you're saying. The idea of giving that second lineup juice, you know, I don't know what the metrics are, and I haven't talked to anyone over at the Mavericks that could set me straight. You know, just eyeball test. I feel like Lively's a better defender than Gafford is. And it could be that with that all those defensive players coming off the bench together, that the idea is they're just going to snuff the other team out and really pad a lead right there. But I haven't heard Kidd speak on specifically why he's got it like that. But hey, it worked last year, right?
Did you see how many pairs of shoes Luka wore in the game last night?
I didn't notice. What was it?
So I follow Luka Dunk Kicks.
Yeah.
And
that dude's great.
He's great. And he had this last night. Luka wore 4 different pairs of shoes in that game. And I don't know if you're not having your night shooting, you might think it's all right. It's this wristband, it's these shoes, it's this or whatever.
Right.
And you try to switch it up so you can find it. Maybe that's why he wore 4 different pairs. But no, you're right. It is Clay catch and shoot. I love it so much, and he just doesn't need much time. I guess obviously everybody has seen Golden State, and you watch games, and really honestly, so many times, I'm not really watching Clay. It's not the showstopper guy on that team,
right?
And so I knew that that game where he hit all those threes and never dribbled the ball or dribbled the ball. I knew that he was a catch and shoot machine, but I didn't realize how little time he needs. Like all he needs is a tiny amount of space and it's going up. And even when he misses, he only barely misses. And I just love the way that Luka is looking for him. And I don't want to take shots at anybody. I'm not trying to do that, but it would break my heart last year or in the years past to see Luka work his ass off and like draw the whole defense and then have some miracle pass to somebody that hits him in the breadbasket, and they're either scared to take the shot or they throw up a brick. And I'm like, and dude, that's going to happen with Clay too. He's going to miss shots. It's just the nature of the game. But it just seems to make Luka so happy to be able to get Clay the ball, let him shoot, and know that it's most likely going in. It's just my favorite thing to watch right now.
The 2 easiest ways to get uncontested threes are after offensive rebounds and in transition. It's super obvious in transition. Luka is going where's Clay? Like the second he has the ball, because that is a wide open 3. And that's really fun to watch. And, teams will start adjusting to that. I don't have the updated stats, and maybe we'll be able to get them. We want everybody to watch. We love it when you watch the Super Soaker. Please keep spreading the word. But we also want you to watch our Mavs heavy show with Studio 41 called Poor Spacing. It's going to drop every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Spread the word for us. It's going to be really in-depth Mavs stuff. It's still going to be the way Ben and I do our thing. We're going to have fun. But I'll try to get the stat before our show tomorrow on the number of guarded threes Clay has taken, because it's shockingly low. Like, he's so open. In the first game, he took 10 threes and only 1 was guarded. Guarded in the NBA is considered the defender is within 4-something feet and able to, I forget the exact terminology for it. But I mean, you don't have to know that. You can just know either the guy's guarded or he's not. Is it a wide open, clean look? So of his 10 threes on opening night, only 1 was guarded. I'll try to get that updated stat for tomorrow, because no doubt we'll be talking lots of Klay Thompson tomorrow.
Dude, thank you for the shout out last night. That was awesome. So going into the second game, first game was TNT, right? It was a TNT game.
And I think tonight is TNT too. Yeah, it's Tuesday night. Tonight's TNT as well. Now, I would encourage you to watch our local broadcast on Channel 29. I'll be doing pre and post. And then obviously the crew is out there in Minnesota. We would way prefer you watch us than TNT or ESPN or whatever.
So I have DirecTV streaming, and I didn't realize that. I knew that, but I had just forgotten. And I heard that, Channel 29 was on DirecTV, so I thought, I'll have it. And then I got home. My daughter had a game. What was that? Was that Saturday night?
Saturday night, yeah.
And so I got home, and I was like, all right. And I had Channel 27, and I had Channel 33, but I didn't have Channel 29. So I'm texting you about it, and I like to troubleshoot things with our big listenership, and because there's some expert out there. And so I was like, hey, how do I get this game? And I totally blew it by not thinking about it until the last minute. It's how I treated every test in high school, the exact same way. Oh, I'm taking a test right now. What is this about? And so I ended up getting the NBA package through the NBA app. The Mavs app will be out soon, but right now it's through the NBA and the season pass. And it was so unbelievably easy. And then there's a button where I can screen share it to my TV. So I was watching, and then I saw people last night asking, "Hey, man, my screen is still glitchy or whatever because it's fuzzy because it's going from your phone to your TV." And my son heard me saying that, and he was like, "Oh my God, just what an idiot!" And he goes, "Dad, we have the app on our TV." So he pulled up the app. So now I'm through the NBA app. I'm watching the Mavericks in like crystal clear 4K, whatever it is. It's gorgeous.
Nice.
And it was so unbelievably easy. And I know I've heard people say that getting the antenna is easy too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, KT was talking about how easy it was for him. I mean, it's a digital antenna. So I feel like I let people I know down because I have UVerse, so I have channel 29 in high def. And so I didn't spend any time researching what everybody's got to go through to get theirs in different situations. I'm like, follow Followwell. Followwell's a YouTube TV guy, which doesn't have it. So he went and got the digital antenna and posted a video and all this. But also knowing that, you can get it through streaming. I just didn't take the time to go do it because I got 29. And because I have 29, I have a DVR. So if I'm not going to be home, I can tape the game or whatever. So I'm still fortunate enough to be one of those guys that can operate like it's 10 years ago when Chuck Greenberg was making regional sports networks rich. So I'm still stuck in the past, but I'm happy you found a good solution and you're up and cranking rod like it's Kathy Ireland out there. And then you get to go to Cosm tonight to watch this game.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm excited about this Mavs season. I don't ever want to miss a minute of it. I mean, we're going to look back on this and go, what? We had that team? That's arguably the most talented team they've ever had in the history of the organization. All respect due to Dirk's championship squad. Okay, so we if you like our Mavs content, don't forget we have a new podcast on Mavs Studio 41 on the Mavs YouTube channel. It's called Poor Spacing. It'll come out every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Appreciate it if you watch that. The Mavs also put out our interview with Kyrie as just a single serving. So it's not our whole Poor Spacing show. It's just our interview with Kyrie.
Right.
And you can watch that on the Mavericks YouTube channel too. I'm sure that's where it is, right?
Yeah, it's just at Mavericks. And I would recommend subscribing to it because I do, and I get these little notifications because it's not just our show. Like Followwell and Damaris do Take That With You, which is a great show. They did it, been doing it the last couple of years. And then, man, I haven't watched episode 2 yet, but what Machine and Jake from the Dumb Zone are doing with Roundball Talk is really exciting. And you will see appearances from our homeboy KT on there as well. So go subscribe at Mavericks on YouTube so you can get all this content because it's really good stuff. And they post interviews. And I mean, if you're a Mavericks fan, you should be subscribed to their YouTube channel.
Yeah. And in this day and age, just to wrap this up, thank you guys for tuning in and watching.
Yeah.
We need all the help you can give us in terms of liking, commenting, sharing, the way the algorithms work. If you're not talking politics, it doesn't think anybody really is interested in it. It's got to be toxic and hateful and terrible. So if you hit the like button, that means a lot. If you subscribe, if you share the link with your friends, that helps us more than you can know. Even just a comment here or there helps more than you can possibly imagine. So thank you. Keep spreading the word. I'm super proud of what we're doing with these Super Soakers. I think it's the best thing we've ever done. Grateful for Jason Ferrantello and his work, and Steve, and got TC, so many people, Johnny helping us with the thumbnail, so many people involved in this thing. Our buddy Paul's helping us too. The link is there for the complete fun package in the comments. You can see it right there. You can click on that. It takes 30 seconds to sign up. You could win a meet and greet with some big-time athlete. You could win a big screen TV, something like that. You can also go to bitandskin.com. Check it out there if that's the way you want to go. All that stuff is listed there. But and then don't forget to listen to our show, 3 to 6 on 97.1 The Eagle. Anything else we need to say before we get out of here?
No, we appreciate your time. We do have some cool stuff. Bye.
This has been another Iron Balls production.
Iron Balls!